Hello there and welcome back to Let's Play Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishments. I'm the RNGenius, but you may call me Eric, and in the last episode we finished up with a bloodbath case and we ended up condemning the crazy dude with the drug usage. Unfortunately, it was not, he actually did not commit this crime, which I would have thought of, because I should have thought of, because someone who is under the influence of a paranoid, or who is extremely paranoid and thinks the only way to do something or to get to save your life from a curse basically is to kill someone. I don't think they would go through the trouble of creating an ice knife to be able to commit the perfect crime to save, you know, their life not only from extinguish or being extinguished by a curse, but also from Scotland Yard. I don't think they'd think that far. And they also wouldn't have followed him into the Mithraic temple or have followed his steps into that temple to get his hands on the golden knife because he thought he was unworthy. Why would he go for that? That was the thing I should have thought of, because that condemns Blinkhorn. That is the fact that makes Blinkhorn be responsible for the death. The fact that he went after, like that he went through the trouble of getting to the Mithraic, the statue of Mithras where he's holding the golden knife. He saw it through a gate. We know because there was a broken lamp next to it, and now, of course, we don't know how he actually left, but that's cool. Let's start the new case. We condemned the guy, by the way. He's gonna get killed. Sympathizing. People solved the case the same way. 74% did, and same moral choice for 70%. It's kinda, this time it was, that moral choice was not hard to make. This time I was being a dick. Blood and Ice, an omnivorous reader. An omnivorous reader. What does that mean? The Abbey Grange affair.
The game is afoot, not a word. Into your clothes and come. I'll wait for you in the sitting room. I've just received a note from Inspector Lestrade, a letter from the suburbs. He is in need of my presence. Whenever he has asked for my assistance, it has always turned out to be entirely justified. I fancy that every one of his cases has found its way into your collection.
Yes, they all seem worthy of...
However, I regret your fatal habit of looking at everything from the point of view of a story instead of a scientific exercise.
Oh, Holmes, you...
I beg your pardon, I digress. It would be much better to examine this letter than to try to convince you.
But he's so tired.
The letter is on the table, Holmes. You should take a look.
On this table? No. Is that woman still standing there in the middle of the night? Middle of the night. 3 a.m. lady, you're crazy.
I agree with you, Toby, that Watson's shoe is preferable to Mrs. Hudson's cold cuts.
The letter is on the table.
Baker Street, London, Sherlock Holmes.
I can tell from Lestrade's handwriting that he was in a hurry when he wrote this letter.
When I write a letter in a hurry, no, when I write in a hurry, I don't write letters ever. When I'm in a hurry, I wish my handwriting looked like this, because it's barely readable at that point.
A wax seal with the monogram E.B. The Brackenstall family coat of arms.
Abbey Grange, Marsham, Kent. My dear Mr. Holmes, I should be very glad of your immediate assistance in what promises to be the most remarkable case. It is something quite in your line. Except for releasing the lady, I will see that everything is kept exactly as I have found it. But I beg you not to lose an instant, as if difficult to leave Sir Eustace there. Yours faithfully, Inspector Lestrade. Why'd you start with my dear Mr. Holmes? I thought Abbey Grange sent that letter. Alright, fair. Oh, we get something here. Sympathize. And we get a silver knife. Why didn't we take the golden knife? And we have condemned them. There's going to be 3 people I will get to meet.
So, what is it, Holmes?
Promising, as always, it appears to be a case of murder.
So you believe that Sir Eustace is dead?
I should say so. Lestrade wouldn't have sent for me for less. His writing shows considerable agitation, and he is not an emotional man. These people belong to high society. The quality of the writing paper, the EB monogram, their coat of arms. The crime was committed before midnight.
Holmes, how can you possibly tell?
Well, it is all thanks to Lestrade. He wrote his letter at 3:30 in the morning. Imagine the chain of events before that. The local police had to be called in. Scotland Yard was notified. Lestrade himself had to make haste there, and finally compose the letter he sent to me. All of that makes for a fair night's work.
It makes sense. Lestrade also speaks of the woman he released.
That seems to indicate that she had been held somewhere during the crime. Much time has been wasted. Let us find a cab and go to Abbey Grange immediately. I live in hope of an interesting morning.
But first, let's look at my letters. Look at you. The Times, a colossal scandal in high society. The well-known and remarkable archaeologist, the pride of our nation, Sir Rodney Bentcliffe, has been found murdered. The crime took place at the Roman Baths in Strand Lane, the location of the archaeologist's most recent research. But what is most truly shocking is that the murderer of Sir Rodney was at the hand of his former friend and partner Percival Belinghorn. The death sentence is the only possible punishment for this breed of villain. Let's go to Abbey Grange. What was that? Ah. That was my indicator. Investigate the murder of Abbey Grange.
Ah, Mr. Holmes and Dr. Watson, here you are. I'm very glad that you have come, but perhaps I should not have troubled you after all.
And why is that?
Lady Brackenstall has come to her senses, and she has given so clear an account of the affair that there is not much left for us to do. You remember that Lewisham gang of burglars?
What, the 3 Randalls?
Exactly. The father and 2 sons. It's their work. They stole a silver service, which is of great value.
Sir Eustace Brackenstall is dead, then?
Yes. His head was knocked in with his own poker.
A violent act of aggression.
Yes, the poor lady. She has had a most dreadful experience. She was assaulted and tied to a chair. But I think that you would best see her and hear her account of the facts. She's in the morning room with her maid, Teresa Wright.
Where is the body of the deceased?
In the dining room. We haven't touched anything.
All right, I'm going to examine it.
Very good, Watson.
But I want to examine it.
Lady Brackenstall awaits you in the morning room.
Oh.
Ladies, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I'm assisting Inspector Lestrade in this investigation.
Mr. Holmes, I am the wife of Sir Eustace Brackenstall. We were married only a year ago.
I am sorry for your loss. Please accept my deepest condolences.
Also, you look
I
terrible.
suppose that it is no use my attempting to conceal that our marriage has not been a happy one. I fear that all would tell you that, even if I were to attempt to deny it.
Boy, you got big fat bruises right there. Pale cheeks. Gold brooch, kangaroo and blah blah blah, Australian origin. Got big breasts. Elegant dress. You've got a ring. And bruises on your hands.
Can you describe to me the events of yesterday evening?
Is it really necessary? I have already told Inspector Lestrade all that happened.
Yes, madam, it is.
I will tell you then. Sir Eustace retired about 10:30. I sat in this room until after 11, absorbed in a book. Before I went upstairs, I entered the dining room to fetch a candle and... oh God.
Please, go on.
As I approached the French window, I found myself face to face with an elderly, broad-shouldered man who had just stepped into the room. Close behind the first man, I saw two others. One of them struck me a savage blow with his fist and felled me unconscious to the ground.
And then?
When I came to myself, I found that they had secured me tightly to a dining room chair. It was at that instant my unfortunate husband entered the room.
He fought with the intruders?
Yes, I think he had heard them, for he was holding his stick. But they were three, and he eventually succumbed. One of them, the elder one, struck him a terrible blow with the poker. I fainted once more. When I opened my eyes, they had withdrawn. Then my brave Teresa came to my assistance.
Did these three villains steal anything?
Yes, I found that they had taken the silver from the sideboard, but you can see for yourself in the dining room.
You mentioned that your marriage was not a happy one. Was there anything specific that was troubling you?
He was not a nice man when he was drunk, and he suffered from dark moods, but nothing else.
Yeah.
The bruises on your hands are at least 1 week old. Your husband caused those bruises?
Oh, do you? Yes, he did. He was very angry at the time. Out of control. Again. Sir Eustace was a drunkard. To be tied to such a man for life is worse than death.
Your ladyship?
Boy. Not a happy marriage. Hello, Teresa.
Teresa, I would like to hear your testimony.
Certainly, sir.
Certainly, sir. I'm sorry. Her wrinkles. She's old. You've got a uniform. Blood? No. Handkerchief. Vinegar smell. Risk your carrying. Vinegar smell? Coffee stain. Ah. More coffee stain. No. Can't be all. What did I miss? What? What did I miss? Unbelievable. Usually this is pretty easy to make out. Not the hands? There, old scar, or what is that? Working hands, wow.
As I sat by my bedroom window, I saw 3 men in the moonlight down by the lodge gate. But I thought nothing of it at the time. Oh, if I'd known.
And then?
I went to bed, and it was more than an hour after that I heard my mistress scream. And down I ran, to find her tied to the chair and him on the floor with his head smashed. That's all I know.
Inspect the dining room. The Times, family business booming. The Randall gang is back on the street. Less than a fortnight ago, this infamous gang of burglars, the Randalls, they are known, made their reappearance by way of a brutal but successful intrusion into one of the wealthier homes in Sydenham. The police are already on their trail. However, the details of the crime are being kept confidential, including that of the name of the victim. A witness was able to provide a precise description of all 3 men, and this will surely give the police a chance to complete their profile on this family of delinquents. We would take the liberty of reminding our esteemed readers about this highly dangerous band and to provide the full description as it is available at this moment. The gang has been in business for some considerable time, being a family of 3, a father and his 2 sons. The elder, Jack Randall, is a man in his 40s and already grey-haired, while of average height and build. Being the mastermind behind the burglaries, he retains control over his sons, both of whom are close in age but very different in appearance. The first son, William Randall, is tall and broad-shouldered with a small disproportionate head. The younger brother, Melvin Randall, is of somewhat weaker constitution and as skinny as a rake. The gang is wanted not only for their frequent thefts and break-ins, but for the exceptionally brutal pirate career they enjoyed before returning to England. Be alert, and may your valuables stay safe.
The description of the Randall gang provided by Lady Brackenstall is identical to the one in the Times article.
Randalls are well known. Criminals identified. Either Randalls were blamed, the robbery was faked, and the whole story invented in order to blame Sir Eustace's deaths on the Randalls, or Randall gang. The testimonies and evidence match and point to the Randall gang. I still think it goes kind of in this direction because the lady's hands were tied. But the only thing is that is kind of weird is that her hands were tied behind her head, so she'd have to be in cahoots with the maiden, or not maiden. What the friggin' hell am I talking about? The mistress, the housekeeper. I don't know what to. Come on, give me a thing here. Theresa, what's your position? I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. They'd have to have done this together because she had her hands tied behind her, or she was tied to the chair. But then again, she probably also has a motive because of that Sir Eustace of whatever was a drunkard. Not only Lady Brackenstall would have suffered from all that, but Theresa as well.
This photograph of Lady Brackenstall and her maid Theresa was taken at a port, but which one?
We can ask them about it. So they're always together. Why can I only look at this? What? Fresh flowers? I cannot look at the diary. Oh, come on. There's got to be more. I can actually open those. Rock of Gibraltar, Adelaide.
So the lady and her maid came from Australia a year and a half ago on this ship.
Yeah, take that photograph. Pictures. I like pictures.
A trapper's hut.
Not that picture. This one? Alright, then stop bugging me and tell me. What are we looking at? Picture? Scratches.
These scratches are most definitely made by the picture frame. This is Sir Eustace's safe. There may be something important inside. I must ask Lady Brackenstall to open it.
Alright, Lady Brackenstall, can you open it? She doesn't have access. You have to have access. You're the wife.
Lady Brackenstall, could you open this wall safe?
No, it is my husband's safe. I do not know the combination.
We have to open it. Your ladyship?
We have to open it.
Let us try to open this safe. This safe can be cracked. I only have to pay attention. The dial will vibrate when it is set to the correct number.
What? This is not how this works. This is not how this works. Yeah, I can basically now start my life as a safe cracker. Earns me much more money than being an electrician because I'm so good at safe cracking. Medicinal report. So Eustace, your current physical and mental state is of great concern. There are several signs of hepatic decompensation. The last time that we met, your eyes were bloodshot and your skin was tinged with yellow. There's a particular odor from your breath that is common in those suffering from liver damage. Then there are the lung abscesses that we have discussed. The leg cramps you have described to me are caused by an alteration to the nervous system, which in turn is caused by an excess of alcohol. That includes the tremors. Your liver seemed excessively hard at the time of your examination, which is a sign of an evolving cirrhosis. I don't know how to pronounce that. There are also signs of ascites, fluid in the peritoneal cavity, which are evident with your swollen stomach. The pain beneath your left rib indicates a pancreatic malady, which may lead to fatal and fulminant pancreatitis. Your condition may pose a risk to others. Your excessive alcohol consumption lowers your self-control and heightens your aggression. I'm available to help you with this problem. There are a number of treatment options.
Antique coins, possibly of value, but they're scattered without care. It is common practice to keep one's valuables in a safe behind a painting. It should not really pose a challenge for a criminal.
Yeah. What, did we get that as a hint? Criminals identified, violent behavior from Austria. We didn't get that as one. It would be easy to get at that money. Like it would literally take 20 seconds if that safe is that bad. Why do you even afford a safe if it's that easy to open? I don't care much. For the moment, though, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope I will see you in the next... Actually, I gotta find a save point because I need to go somewhere. I want to go.
The body is still in the dining room where the murder took place.
Okay, I'm gonna have to replay that next time, most probably. Hope you enjoyed it, though, and I hope I'll see you next time. Until then, bye-bye.